Kyle Appleford dropping his most recent video, starting off with a late night breakdown, thinking of thoughts of Jenny, watching old videos of her, what is going on the Apple's channel. The waterworks were plenteous, but the tissues were not. And this while he tries to reconcile the new mission of the page with the original page purpose, of which Jenny created and paid for in suffering through a very difficult cancer journey.
I have to get through this first. I'm terrified.
Kyle is trying to signal to his longtime viewers that, wait, I haven't indeed actually moved on. I'm still here with the original mission. I still care about Jenny. Don't you see my tears? Oh, and my hat and watch, even though it's the middle of the night. All of this in his newest video that I'm breaking down today. You won't want to miss it. And wait till the end, because I'm going to read one of the most shocking comments that I have read as of late. All of what I'm going to mention is my opinion based on my experience watching his videos. It should not be deemed to represent anyone or anything else. Now, before I start, I should say that I'm quite impressed with Kyle in his ability and his superpower, in his talent to be able to continuously not respond nor acknowledge hundreds and thousands of comments, so many questions, many of these on the same topics, many of these of the same vein or the same sentiment. So each time between videos, I kind of expect that at some point he'll drop a video saying, let me answer your questions that you've been asking me, or let me respond. And quite frankly, I feel sorry for people in the comments who are deeply supportive and they're asking questions because he doesn't appear to want to answer any questions, positive or negative. It's almost like the comments people write, they're just there for a larger purpose, and you can speculate as to why of your own. But yeah, they're never interacted with. So I am still waiting. I think it's, what is it, day 705? It feels like that long since people have been asking questions, multiple questions about multiple topics, and yet no answers. So while Kyle could have answered any number of questions, starting out the video, his newest release, he started out with tears and some awkward silence.
Thanks.
And it made me feel uncomfortable watching it because it just came out of nowhere. There was no introduction. It just was tears and a pronouncement that it was the middle of the night. Again, he did have his hat on and a watch, but it was the middle of the night, and maybe that's what he sleeps in. I'm not sure. Who knows? You know, everyone has their own comforts. So, but yeah, it went straight into crying. So we're starting off there. So what we are really presented with here in the beginning is a vulnerability that seems to stem from an issue of his own making, whereby he is, on the one hand, purportedly grieving over his late wife, and on the other hand, he is pursuing a relationship and marriage and wedding, of which is spoken in the same video as the grief in the beginning. And so we get some of that emotion coming out in the beginning of the video. And from what I have seen, this really is the focus of most of the negative comments surrounding his most recent video. It is on this emotional um, portion of the video that starts things off and starts the energy out of the video. I have read several comments critiquing the authenticity of this portion of the video, and so I just wanted to share a couple of those that I did find myself. Some critics have talked about the planning nature of having to film, set your camera up, make sure the lighting is good, make sure the audio is good, on something that's supposed to be spontaneous, raw emotion, and how those two things conflict. And these type of comments do respond to an overall concern that the channel is no longer being presented in documentary style and it's now being presented more as a reality TV show. So that kind of connects into that concern. What was so strange to me in the video happens around how it's transitioned from this emotional kind of breakdown to immediately going to a video of him building Legos. It really has caused an emotional whiplash, I would say, amongst viewers who are stating that it is very jarring compared to the lighthearted things that follow in the video, such as the family activities, and then the more controversial subject, which happens to come at the end, which is about his wedding planning and future summer plans. And so, definitely had some audience whiplash at that moment. And I guess the bottom line really is that any probably any long-term follower of the channel, which I've been with the channel for a while, since the year before Jenny passed away, but any follower who's been there through any part of the grief that was shown in previous videos knows that it was more unpolished and messy and like it felt like it just flowed more naturally, and this portion of emotion in this new video feels um, much more polished to me, for lack of better words. Kyle does also talk about having a torn heart and feeling guilty between being happy in a new relationship and then also missing Jenny, and um, that opposite emotional views and feelings are quite complex. And he did note that his new fiance is accepting of that, and she encourages him to talk about Jenny as much and openly. And I think that a lot of women would really have difficulty with their new fiance being in a place where he is still visibly emotionally upset over their late spouse. And so I think that came across as, well, it's understandable. I think it made a lot of viewers think that he was rushing things, and there are lots of comments on his page in relation to the need to slow down and kind of put a pause on things and not rush into marriage. I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's just me, but anytime that I hear or see Kyle talking about feelings of guilt, or any deep emotions, I'm kind of like, what emotions, if any, does he feel about how there have been multiple hundreds of people that have been upset and feel like they've been deeply hurt or mistreated or ignored or other feelings by their desire to see Jenny's legacy continue on a page that they have supported with their time, prayers, and even with their finances, and then to never get a response and to never have their feelings validated. There's just such a disconnect there for me. And on that subject, Kyle once again discusses his new relationship on Jenny's Memorial channel, her legacy channel, the channel of which she was very explicit that she wanted used as a video diary of sorts for her children. And he's talking about his coming wedding and getting ready for that and having difficult conversations with his children about the wedding and probably the relationship. And I'm just like, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, you could yell, commenters can put their hands up and wave, fire, 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 please stop, please stop, please stop doing this. Like, stop, pouring flour on the fire or whatever. It makes it continue to have the flames go up. But there's just no response. And every video, just more and more mentions of a new relationship as he seemingly tries in this video to bring two different worlds together, one of them being Jenny's legacy and the other being this new relationship. So, really, at the end of the day, I think what this is an attempt to perhaps use vulnerability and strong emotions to kind of reset the channel in response to a lot of criticism about it moving forward too quickly and too drastically from its original purpose of being a legacy channel for Jenny. And in my mind, that's just never going to happen. There's just so many of her original supporters, including myself, that believe that it is absolutely critical to keep her voice and her images alive and in the space she designated them for, in the space she documented her journey on. And no one should ever, in my opinion, have to scroll through dozens of videos from a remaining spouse, and many of which have the new relationship on them, in order to see her videos and her voice and her message. And that certainly, in my mind, is a disservice to her community that still loves her and to the cancer community who could benefit from what she has to say and her strength and her perseverance and the hope she showed. And then also to the children down the road and her family of loved ones. And so that's really what the video, entailed. So, in closing, I did want to share two comments that I noticed when going through the comment section. One having to do with the options of which Kyle could have spoken about in his videos, and the other one is a general statement about how an individual feels about finances. And here they are. Thank you for being with me. See you in the next video.